As if you guys needed any more evidence that the Democrats were in trouble for the midterms, we get this. So Jordan Sheridan tweets, so the DNC had to move a May fundraiser with Vice President Kamala Harris to the fall because they, quote, couldn't sell enough tickets. Tough sledding when even the donors aren't buying what you're selling. So here's what the article says. Vice President Kamala Harris was slated to host the Democratic National Committee's major money-hauling event, the annual Women's Leadership Forum, on May 25th and 26th. A natural fit given that she's the highest office-holding woman in American history. And when the invites were sent out on May 5th, it was hyped as an incredible opportunity to mingle in person after 2 years of virtual events and meetings. But the event was rescheduled at the last minute for autumn, when the event is traditionally held, after the DNC couldn't sell enough tickets, I'm told. Wow. Now, this might be because this particular demographic is like extra COVID conscious and they don't want to get COVID, but it also might be because there's zero enthusiasm for Democrats now and less than zero for Kamala Harris. Tickets for the event start at $250 per head for general admission, and the much-coveted photo line slots start at $15,000 and top off at $50,000. The highest-tier tickets in particular weren't moving quickly enough, and the organizers needed more time to build interest. Emphasizing that the event is typically held in the fall, even though invites were sent out for May 25th, DNC spokesperson Daniel Wessel countered that the vice president is a huge draw. Just in April, she held a fundraising event for us that brought in over $1 million. Wessel did not give a reason for the rescheduling. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to say about this. On the one hand, you could say it's a good thing because it shows that the donors, the big money donors are like flaking out and not giving to the Democrats. On the one hand, that's good because I don't want any big money donors in politics. But also, on the other hand, it shows there's so little enthusiasm for Democrats and for VP Kamala Harris and the party that they can't even get their most trusted demographic, which is like liberal elite moneyed interests, to back them. So I want you to think about this story for a second and look at this other story that we got. The View host, Sonny Hostin, Harris-Buttigieg 2024 ticket would, quote, obliterate Trump or DeSantis. Obliterate Trump or DeSantis. I don't know what world this View host is living in. I do not know what world she's living in. Now, I don't think Trump is a particularly solid candidate for 2024, given everything that's going on with the January 6th committee, and they're really doing a sufficient job of painting him as what he is, which is like a petty authoritarian dictator wannabe. And his poll numbers are going down, and only 15% of the country wants him to talk about the 2020 election, and he can't shut up about the 2020 election. So he's not a particularly strong candidate for 2024, but there is no metric by which Kamala Harris and or Pete Buttigieg is a strong candidate for 2024. Their poll numbers have routinely been below Joe Biden, and Joe Biden isn't popular. In fact, Joe Biden is a little less popular than Trump was at this time in his presidency. So I don't know what world they're living in. I mean, this is the liberal elite bubble defined right here. It's amazing that anybody would make such a point. I mean, that's beyond comical. So anyway, I bet that, look, I honestly bet that this thing does sell out in the fall, but that's still not going to be enough to save the Democrats from their massive shellacking, which is coming in the midterms, which, by the way, was totally unavoidable if they just did solid policy. Was totally avoidable. If you got 2 or 3 parts of Build Back Better through, this wouldn't be happening. If you gave people universal pre-K, if you gave people elder care, if you lowered prescription drug prices, if you expanded Medicare, if you extended the child tax credit, if you extended unemployment benefits, if you did any of a number of things, this would not be happening. But they didn't do it, and now this is happening. And they're looking in the mirror like, well, hold on, what's wrong with our messaging? It's not your messaging. It's your substance. That's the problem.